Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Cook.
And I'm Brian Yamamoto. Right now on KPIX 5, streaming on CBS News Bay Area. Breaking news on this first alert weather day.
Yeah, fast-moving brush fire forcing evacuations in San Mateo County. Take a look. Chopper 5 flew over the scene just minutes ago. And take a look at the large plumes of smoke near 280. This all started as two separate fires. One is now contained. The other near Edgewood Road and Crestview Drive. That one is still burning. It has now burned 25 acres. The flames are threatening homes where crews have fully carried out evacuations. The Edgewood Road ramp on 280 is also closed.
And here's a map showing the evacuation zones. People being ordered to leave the areas in red. People in the blue zone mean to stay on alert and on county recommendations. Kenyatta College is at the southernmost part of that blue. Also right now, we are seeing power outages in the area. As many as 9,000 customers are without power along the peninsula.
PG&E is reporting that they detected an outage in the area around 2:20 this afternoon. That's about the time the people started calling 911 to report fires along Edgewood Road and Colton Court. Now, the big question this evening is whether the outage and the fires are somehow connected.
So let's get right out to KPIX 5's Kiet, who is live near the fire line in San Mateo County. Kiet, we just heard from CAL FIRE. What is the very latest?
Yeah, so we're right here on Edgewood Drive, or I should say Eastview Way. You're looking straight due west, and that sound that you hear in the background, that's helicopters that are dropping water about 200 yards away from us now. We are on the southeastern side of the property boundary with Edgewood Park and Reserve. And as far as we can tell, these planes and choppers are dropping water nonstop and timing them out. They're coming here about every 30 seconds to every 2 minutes. We do not see a big plume of smoke anymore. The smoke is really laid down, and so it appears that the worst of this fire is now over. The flames are burning inside a deep bowl or a ravine inside the park, and the fear is that the flames would climb outside of that bowl and into the surrounding neighborhoods. We were right there when the flames got up to the top of one ridge. CAL FIRE there snuffed it out pretty quickly. They've got at least 4 pieces of aircraft dropping water and retardant. Looks like they're making good progress. Lots of twisty roads in these hills. Lots of people were standing by to evacuate. Here's CAL FIRE to talk about that evacuation order.
We just want to make sure that the public is aware that to heed the advice of the evacuation orders and even the warnings. If you're getting an evacuation warning, it's a good idea to go ahead and leave at that time. That way it gives us all the opportunity to fight the fire the best that we can.
So these plots out here of land are very large. A lot of folks have animals. We met one woman by the name of Chris. She had her horse packed up with water and food ready to go.
We were prepared as much as we could, and that we followed instructions. And being on the front edge, we're next to the watershed in Edgewood Park, so we were prepared, and everybody is doing the best job they can.
So no word yet on the cause. We have seen a lot of PG&E personnel out here. We did actually go by, there's like a little substation on the north side of that. It did not look like any of the poles or any of the material or hardware or lines were burned. It looked like the fire moved pretty quickly through that area. Do not know what the cause is. It's still hot out here. The wind's picking up very slightly, so we'll monitor the situation and bring you any updates in terms of what caused this fire out here in Edgewood. For now, we're live. Kiet, KPIX 5.
And Kiet, we hear all those choppers in the background. How large is that aerial assault that CAL FIRE is using right now?
So they're stationed right there. There's a lot of personnel just past that ridge. So they've got the whole kind of area surrounded. They've got crews wetting down houses and stationed at each house that is facing the 20 acres that have burned inside here. So it feels like, it looks like they've got a good handle on this. And the fact that you don't see a lot of smoke billowing up into the air, that is good. That is good news.
That is a good sign. When you start to see that gray smoke, you know that they are making some headway. All right, Kiet, thank you. Paul, we were looking at that video, and the fuels, you can see a water drop there. Amazing what they're able to do, the accuracy. But the fuels, that grass, it's not even grass, it's straw. I mean, this is what they are up against.
Yeah, and even with cool temperatures over at least half of the weekend, that helps in terms of the kind of the dryness of the fire fuels increases the humidity levels, but the temperatures today were then hot enough that it just cooked the moisture out of the fire fuels, a larger tanker going overhead and dropping retardant on that Edgewood fire. The latest conditions, and we have a sensor, it's very close to the fire actually, and the latest report came in at 5:18, so it's about 45 minutes old, but the temperature at that point was still 99 degrees. The humidity stood at only 12%, so very crispy fire fuels. The winds shifted. That's the major factor, along with the heat that the fire crews having to contend with. The winds were out of the east when this fire started. Now they're out of the west at about 10 miles an hour, gusting up just over 15 miles an hour. So as that wind has shifted, they've had to kind of change their direction of approach to this fire, trying to keep it contained within that bowl that Kiet was talking about. Another live view. This is from Stanford's campus looking towards the fire, and you can see a little plume of smoke right there. This was much bigger earlier today, especially right around the time that fire broke out. So the fact that the smoke isn't as intense, it's a little more diffuse, it's a good sign, but the crews still have their work cut out for them, trying to get as many of those tankers and helicopters overhead as they can before the sun goes down this evening. Temperatures today near record territory, close to a record in San Francisco, tied a record high temperature in Oakland, broke a high temperature record in San Jose at 102 degrees, and broke a high temperature record in Concord at 102. The heat advisory continues for about 4 more hours until 10 o'clock this evening. Temperatures are beginning to back down, but it's going to be a slow process, so you still need to exercise caution, stay hydrated, take it easy, stare in the air conditioning if you can as we go through the next several hours. Some relief in store tomorrow. We'll talk